It's Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead, and welcome back to our second walkthrough for the garden season. And it's hot and humid today. We've had about 2.5 weeks of rain. We're not done yet. We'll finish out the week. It's not raining right now, but the clouds are rolling in. It's hot and humid, and so we're expecting some severe weather tonight. My area is expecting golf ball size hail. The folks north of me are expecting softball size hail. Folks below me are expecting quarter size hail. So Oklahoma is under the gun tonight for some severe weather, and maybe some of you in your locations are too. And so we'll just pray. I can't really say that we need any more rain right now, but I don't want to complain about it. But we sure don't need the bad weather, and the chances are higher for tornadoes and all of that. So I'll have my ears perked. Hopefully before the storms start, Blade and Cheyenne will be home, but if not, I guarantee you I'll be down at Papa Texas and Granny Terry's house, because I'm the world's biggest chicken when it comes to storms. But here comes some of my babies. See how they're... Come on, babies. Come on. Come on. Chick, 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 chick. Come on. Come on. All right, babies. Okay. Come on. Come on, babies. Come on, babies. Come on. Well, here's some of our little babies. Babies. Here, babies. Come on. Babies. Okay. Well, I'll move in here quicker, faster. Well, here's one of our little ducks that we raised from babies, and they're looking pretty. They're getting their color. Some of them look just like runner ducks, and some of them look like this. And they've got this. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. They have this beautiful coloring on them, and I'm excited. Some of them will eat out of my hand. Some are still a little bit worried, and I haven't decided yet who's going to be Grammy Quacker, but we'll figure that out. Anyway, little ducks are growing. There you go, baby. Oh, mercy, guys. I'm overloaded with chickens and ducks, but Blade's starting his chicken business, so it'll all be good. But they're such a pleasure to watch and fun to watch. Everybody's getting their dinner. I'll show you. I'll swing around this way, and you'll see Foxy and Sadie. Let me zoom in there so you can really see them. Well, they're in dog jail for one thing, because they won't leave the little chickens alone. But Foxy, he really suffers in the summertime. And I think I'm going to get him down, and if he'll let me without eating my arms off. He doesn't bite, but he really lets me know that he doesn't like it. Get some of his fur. I could brush 10 dogs off of him all summer long, and the birds the wild birds, they like it, because you'll look in their nests and they have foxy fur in their nest, but he suffers. And he had a heat stroke, a heat episode a couple of years ago, and we thought we were going to lose him, and we came out and he was staggering, and he just, the heat and humidity just gets to him, and he doesn't even, you can't even persuade him to go work cows when he's like this. And it's going to sound silly to you, but we keep a box fan under our porch so he can get up under there. It's an open porch. We have a tall porch. You go up, 6 or 7 steps to get to on our porch. So underneath the porch is nice and cool, and he likes to go under there and lay. But we also put a box fan under there all summer long because he just gets so hot. And it is, I'm sure it's hot in y'all's areas too. You're probably saying, hey, you're not telling me anything I don't know, but it is extremely hot in Oklahoma, and he suffers so, bless his little heart. And I may even go get him one of those little kiddie pools so that he can get in it. He likes to get in any water, but he'll get in his drinking water and sponge it all up, and so you got to go back out and fill his water pan back up. So I may break down and get him in Sadie a swimming pool. Who knows? All this is a look at our chicken yard. It is a flat mess. That's one reason why I let the little bitties and the ducks out sooner than what I really wanted to, because I can't stand them having to wait. Now the ducks don't have a problem with that. They love that. But they are just making things worse. And we have another little chicken yard that is just soup. It's just so muddy soupy. And so I let them out, and we're gonna see, you know. Now the birds, I have the door open and they free range during the day, and they come in here and they've got water pans, and they come in here and drink water and scratch around. And some of the chickens that haven't got their eggs laid yet, well, they'll go out and go in, and lay their eggs. I've got one that's sitting like I need more chickens, but the little mother's trying so hard. So anyway, they're coming in here now to see if I've thrown anything in here to them, because they know that I've been feeding those little babies in here. And I'm going to tell them to go catch a grasshopper. So there's plenty of bugs and stuff for them to get, and grass and all kinds of stuff. So at this time of year, I really don't have to feed that much because they're out getting their wild goodies. Here's a shot of our onion patch, and they're looking pretty good. I do have some laid over, but you know, all the rain and everything, I'm considering that they're a whole lot better off than what they could be. And we'll have some good slicing onions, and we'll have some good onions just to set on the table to eat with beans and cornbread as green onions, and that's a good yummy thing. Well, here is our cabbage row. And last week they looked so pretty and they were holding up so good in the rain, but we've had an insect problem, and some of the cabbages don't look too bad, and then others are really ate up. And of course, we've got weeds out here because we haven't been able to get out in it, and when you can't really be hands-on with your cabbages, or other things in your garden, and you know, there's this one, and see on this little cabbage we've got damage, and we'll have to take care of this. But the storm clouds are rolling in, and I don't know of anything that I can put on here in the next day anyways that will take care of things before it gets all washed away in downpours. But that one's all ate up. The one next to it looks pretty good. The ones after that look kind of bad again. And then on down they go. They have just been, you know, they look terrible. So I'm not really sure how many cabbages we'll get out of here. I may have to go to the farmer's market and get cabbage if I plan on making homemade sauerkraut. And we'll see what we can get. And guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Going to the farmer's market and supporting those that are trying to provide. Sometimes there's a need for it, and this is the case. When insect infestation and the weather doesn't cooperate, well, there's not much you can do. Here's the cucumbers row, and you can see that they're kind of in areas that come up good. Other areas they're kind of sporadic. That's about as far down in the cucumbers I can go without sinking in the mud. So hopefully you can see that I have a bunch of patches that are going to have to be replanted because we are a cucumber and pickle eating family. So we'll make dill pickles and bread and butter pickles this year. I'm going to try a sweet hot bread and butter pickle. I don't know. I've never made it before, but I'm going to give it a shot because I like them, the ones that you get at the grocery store, and I'd like to figure out how to make it myself. So and relish. None of us like sweet pickles though. We all like dill pickles. So I don't ever make sweet pickles unless you count the bread and butters on the sweet side, but they're still not a sweet pickle. All right, so moving right on over to this aisle, this row in my garden. These are the turnips and my muddy boot and my thumb. Sorry guys. There is the turnips, and you can see they come up really thick. They will have to be thinned out, and that's not a problem. We can thin those out and we'll have a pretty good turnip harvest. We can have turnips here before too long, and then we'll plant them again for the fall. And I think I'm considering putting turnips out in the some of the pastures this fall, like Howie did, and me and Grandpa, Papa Tex, and Blade, and have all been discussing it. Now, beyond those turnips is the beets. They're up. They're not as thick as these beets, and as the turnips, and that's a good thing because I won't have to thin as many of them out. But I cannot get down there to show them to you because it's just another instance of it being too wet and too muddy, and we just can't do it. Now I'll pan you over here. You can look down here through the tomatoes. They're looking really good. And we're going to have to, we have a little bit of maintenance. You'll have maintenance all along when you are working with your garden all season long. You don't ever get to where you can just sit back and say, well, I got it planted, and now I can wait for the harvest. You got to be out here in it. Hot and sweaty, too much rain, not enough rain, insect problems, you've got to be out here. But tomatoes are really looking good. I'm kind of concerned about the hail that's coming tonight because I don't have all of my tomato cages on here yet. And I may try, but I just don't know, guys, if I can get down through there and get tomato cages on them. I sure would like, it's not going to stop all the hail if we get hail, but it would slow it down some. But we'll just have to do the best that we can. Okay, the peppers are right here at the end of this row. We put hot peppers in one place and bell peppers and the sweet peppers in another spot. And I can already tell that we've had a little rabbit in here, and that's why that square cage right there has chicken wire around it. It's a tomato cage, but it does have the chicken wire, and that is to keep the rabbits from munching on the peppers. Now, I don't know why they like peppers so well, but Howie got so frustrated at them, and we've got some more cages that need to have chicken wire put on them, and we'll get out here and get that done, and try to protect our peppers. And I'll show you what they do. They just kind of come in. I don't mean to make you guys sick, but they come in. Oh, you're going to see, I'm sorry, my shadow. I'll get in here so you guys can see this, hopefully. But they'll come in and they eat the tops out of them. And oh, it would aggravate Howie so bad. So these are going to have a cage. All the peppers will have to have cages put around them and protected from the little bunnies. They're cute, but they're destructive. Over here, I've got 3 rows of sweet corn, and Blade and Granny Terry planted these. I think every kernel came up, which is good because we butt right up against the woods over there. Dirt road separates us, but when this stuff gets up and is looking promising, and we're smacking our lips waiting to have a good hot piece of buttered and salted corn. Well, the raccoons decide that they would like to have corn too, and so we'll probably have to fight the raccoons. We fight the squirrels for the tomatoes, the rabbits for the peppers, and now we're going to fight the raccoons. Hopefully we won't. It'd be good if we don't, but I've never known a year yet that we didn't have to get after the raccoons, and we don't have a problem with that. I know they're beautiful, but we're protecting our food source, and you know, if they're going to get in here and eat what we're trying to grow for ourselves to eat, then we've got to take care of business. Now, Blade planted this corn, and he got his rows pretty wide, and I think he was thinking about running his tiller down through the middle of them, I think. But I honestly believe I could go right down between the middle of these 3 rows and plant 2 more rows and have 5 rows of corn rather than 3, and I might do that. I might sneak out here and take off a couple of rows and plant some more corn and see if they're not surprised when it comes up. But we'll see what we do. It'll all taste good in the end. Hopefully we're the ones that get it and not the wildlife. We still have a lot of garden that's not planted yet. There's a lot of garden. More, I would say more not planted yet than is planted. And we have all of our beans need to go in. Our okra needs to go in. Melons, cantaloupe watermelon. Our carrots, garlic, that kind of stuff have their own dedicated beds. But, and of course lettuce and radishes and stuff. Those I tried to plant, Howie and I tried to plant them up at the house, by the house, in those mineral tubs. And then that way we aren't taking up garden space for the big crops with small stuff. And so the lettuce and radishes and Malabar spinach and that kind of stuff are going to be grown up front. Now lettuce right now here in Oklahoma, lettuce, it's too hot for lettuce. But I can grow Malabar spinach and use it as lettuce. And last year I grew some red romaine lettuce. Boy, it was way up in the summer that I was able to have it before it was just too bitter that you couldn't eat it. So I may try to do that again, and if not, I will just, we'll get our salad greens some other way. But anyway, that's the shape of things right now, and it is extremely hot out here, and every once in a while the breeze blows though, and that feels good. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but here's coming in the first part of the stormy weather, and it's in the 80s out here right now, so that's what scares me, is when it starts in. Now this is coming out of the south. The big nasty storms is coming from the north, and it's coming later tonight. Well guys, there you have it, our second garden walkthrough of 2021. And I don't have a whole lot yet, but it's coming. It'll get in the ground and we'll have it going. I've got some little green tomatoes that I couldn't get in to show you, but I can see them hanging on the vines, and we'll get these tomatoes up and pretty, and hopefully if we have a tomato seasons as we have in seasons past, well, these tomatoes will be taller than me, and we'll have some delicious sliced tomatoes. I can almost taste it. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the bounty that we have coming this year, and I hope you guys are enjoying the same thing. I know we've had a lot of rain. A lot of you have had a lot of rain, but a lot of you have not had any rain, and I'm so sorry for that. I wish that we could send some of ours your way. But we're praying. I know that all of us, every part of the country has something else something different that they're dealing with. Too much rain for us right now, not enough rain for some of the rest of you. And I know that some of you had storms last night, because I heard on the news about the tornado outbreaks. we're under the gun tonight. I've already shared that with you. So we'll be watching the sky, and if the kids aren't home yet when they start firing up, well, I guarantee I'll be down at Granny and Grandpa's house, and we'll all take care of each other. But I hope you guys are safe. I wish you well. I hope that wherever you're at, you're going to experience a bountiful harvest. If you can't grow, go to the farmer's market. If you don't have it, you know, some areas don't have farmer's markets now. We have a farmer's market at Sallisaw, and I believe they might have one at Muskogee. I'm not 100% sure, but I know the Sallisaw farmer's market. There's a health food store there across the street from them. They're not real big. They're you know, they've got some booths, but some of you have some excellent farmers markets and can take advantage of that. Those people have grown that produce to bring to market and to share with you, so that you've got really good wholesome food, and they need the support. They're doing that to either supplement their income, or perhaps their homestead that is their income. So go out and support them and get you some good stuff. You can, anything that you buy at the farmer's market as far as produce, well, not lettuce and stuff like that, but you know what, green beans, tomatoes, cucumbers, all that. The things that we grow here on our farm and we show you recipes for, why you can use that stuff at the farmer's market, and you can can it up yourself. And sometimes you can get a good deal by buying a pretty hefty amount of produce and putting up what your family needs. And you're the only ones that can tell. You know, there's suggestions. People have suggestions for how much you should put up, but you know how much your family eats of each thing that you're putting up. And only put up the things that your family's going to eat. Don't stock rice and pasta if your family doesn't eat rice and pasta, because I guarantee you know, a lot of people say, well, if they're hungry, they'll eat it. Young people, little children, and older people will not eat it. They go through appetite fatigue, and so you stock what you guys will eat. Now, you know, I add some vegetables in there. It won't hurt you to eat your vegetables, but you know, let's look well to the ways of our household. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little walkthrough, and I'm excited about watermelon and cantaloupe and all those delicious things that we experience in the summertime, and y'all come back and we'll do week 3 next week, and hopefully I'll have some more stuff to show you. I'm hoping it'll dry out this weekend and into next week, although I think this weekend, Memorial Day weekend, is supposed to be kind of rainy for us, but it'll dry out and we'll get our other things in, and we'll share with you, and you share with us your gardens, and come back and see us. Well, this is Josie with Cedar Creek Homestead, and again, I love you guys, and just know that that's not just words. I mean it. From the bottom of my heart, I mean it. Y'all have been good to me. I'm a big baby for one thing, but just kidding. There's hardly a time that I don't go to the post office box that somebody has put an encouraging card or letter in. I've had people send me books. I've shared this with you guys. Quilts, aprons, tea towels. Oh my goodness, you guys have been so thoughtful and so loving and so supportive. And I just know that I appreciate that. And until next time, we're gone.